Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I can hardly believe it myself, but I get to be a Hero Arts influencer and I get to craft with the monthly card making kit. I am so super thrilled. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing with this card and then I have a fun little story to tell. So with this card, I'm following along with my recipe card number 3, which was inspired by Carly T. Miner. And you can check out that video, but I basically distill one of the lessons that I learned from looking at and really studying Carly's cards is a lot of her cards, she makes really effective use of white space. And when I was studying her cards, one of the things that I kind of took as a lesson that I could distill into a recipe for myself is to just use a third of the card front. So pick a third, whether that's just a strip somewhere in the middle, a third of the top section, a third of the bottom section, whatever it is, and then just keep your design components within that third. Now, I pulled out initially my Pear Blossom Press T-square ruler for card makers. It's their A2 size T-square. And what's really awesome about it is that along the 4 1/4 and along the 5 1/2 inch edges, there are 2 pink dots on the ruler that actually mark the 1/3, 2/3 of the of that length. And since I'm not super accustomed yet to actually eyeballing about a third of the card or a third of that length, I just gave myself some pencil marks. So it just helps until I kind of develop an eye for it. I think having that ruler is super helpful because then I can kind of give myself a guide. So I did some stamping and I did some masking as I stamped because I want this to be a fairly flat card. And so what I did, even though this stamp set does have a coordinating die set, with some of the elements, the tote bag and the sandals, I wanted to be able to stamp those flat. But with the sunglasses, I did stamp that separately so that I could lift it a little bit. But I want to treat the sunglasses a little bit differently. I actually want to color the sunglasses in and leave the other images black and white. And so I'm going to try to create a little bit of that, that like tortoise shell kind of pattern for the sunglass frames. And that'll help to bring in a little bit of the craft color cardstock that I put as a first sort of layer onto my card base. And then the other 2 images I'm leaving black and white. Now, with the other 2 images, when you're doing stamping like this, what you want to do is think ahead a little bit about how you want to compose your collage. And what you want to do is stamp in the order of what is closest to you, because that's going to be what blocks things that are behind it. So you want to stamp, in this case, the tote bag first, because I want that to be like the frontmost. And then I stamped onto some masking paper, masked off the tote bag, and then stamped one of the sandals, masked that off, and then stamped the second sandal. And so that gives me a completely flat image, but you can see they intersect with one another, but without crisscrossing lines, because where there's objects in front, they correctly kind of block the objects behind. So to finish off my sunglasses, I just put some diamond glaze on them. I don't even know if anybody uses diamond glaze anymore, but it's kind of like a glossy accents. And of course, I did erase I erased my pencil mark lines. But so I have to admit, I'm still a little bit, I don't know, it's still a little bit hard for me to leave a lot of white space. So I kept my mask and I'm gonna reapply them now. And I'm gonna add some color to this, but I am gonna still stick to my recipe card, and it's recipe card number 3. If you want to check that video, maybe I'll try to link to it in the upper right hand corner if I can remember. But what I'm gonna do is I used some washi tape, and I'm going to put a line of washi tape at the bottom of this sort of composition here, and a line of washi tape at the top of it. I'm going to do some ink blending to add some color. So I know I'm just not quite there yet with leaving loads of white space. So, but I'm still sticking to my recipe card where I'm just going to stick to adding, it's still within the rules of adding or keeping all of the design elements to about 1/3 of the card. And so I'm just going to ink blend a little bit of a sunset here. And that started to make me feel a lot more comfortable with the remaining white space, which for me still is quite a lot of white space. Normally, my reflex would be to do something with it. Normally, I would maybe, try to emboss it or add some very subtle texture or pattern or something. Because for me, just seeing that much white space, sometimes it just feels like it's unfinished when I do it. When I see it in other people's cards, it just looks like very striking, very effective, and just really beautiful, like all the clean lines and everything. And for some reason, I just have just a high discomfort with it when it comes to my own card making. And part of the 1/3 rule for me and why I created this recipe card is so that I can kind of get a little bit more practice at leaving all of this white space, get a little bit more practice at clean and simple design. And I think if I can give myself an easy rule to stick to, then it'll get easier for me, especially since, nothing, will help to build up comfort without actually just doing it. And by doing it, I'll hopefully become more and more comfortable. So baby steps. Right now, I had to add a splash of color, but I still kept within my rules. And maybe next time when I make a card like this, I'll just leave it white. But I really am happy with how this turned out. So quick little story. A few years ago, I don't know if you guys remember when Joann's used to sell the card kits by Hero Arts. I think it was like make yourself at home or something like that. I know that Tina Smith used to do videos for them, Mindy, and then I think when she stopped, Mindy Egan started to do them. Well, right around that time, I actually, because I think I saw a video and Tina Smith said that she wasn't going to be doing the kits anymore. And so I actually emailed into Hero Arts. I don't know if it was their contact form or if I just messaged them on social media, because I didn't have any contacts there. I didn't know any designers there or anything. So I just kind of emailed them cold and asked them if they were looking for influencers to create inspiration for their Joann's kits. And I never got a response from them. But here we are, years later. Joann's is closing or closed in most areas, and I'm now a Hero Arts influencer, and I get to craft with their card making kit. So it's really incredible. It's quite a dream come true. And I have to thank you all for using my affiliate links. Anytime you do, it really helps to open up these opportunities for me, because really the job of an influencer is to help the company actually sell their products. And so big thank you if you've ever used any of my affiliate links. I really, really appreciate you, because it helps me to kind of keep a spot on the team and perhaps open up even more opportunities for me. So thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate and love you all so much. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.